into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist.
Repeat after me.
The Spook, who sat by the door. The controversial best-selling novel now becomes a shocking screen reality. The story of the first black agent in the CIA.
Whoever they select will be the best-known spy since 007.
Their first mistake was letting him in.
And let me congratulate you on being the first Negro officer in the Central Intelligence Agency.
Their worst mistake was letting him out.
You really want to mess with Whitey? I can show you how.
For 5 years, he was their token Negro.
Freeman, you people must serve.
For 5 years, he kept his cool.
Man, you just don't belong. I think you'd be happier with a mop in your hands.
Like your mama.
And in return, they taught him how to spy, how to fight, how to kill. For 5 years, he was the Spook who sat by the door. And then he turned gangs of ghetto kids into a highly trained guerrilla army.
We live off the land. We match technology with spontaneity and improvisation. Men against machines, brains against computers. Now, if you don't think it can work, you check out Algeria, Kenya, Korea, and Vietnam. Can you dig it?
He turned a summer riot into a revolution.
This is not about hate white folks. It's about loving freedom enough to die or kill for it if necessary.
He turned the American dream into a nightmare. Yesterday, a novel. Today, a movie. The Spook who sat by the door.
And the mayor's office is now air-conditioned, courtesy of the Black Freedom Fighters of Chicago.
I'm a black activist, Hebrew activist. Since 1992, I was really chasing after this. Woke up to the truth, going hard, they come after us. Banging on these heathen 45th, now they mad at us. Either might ran up on the can.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Shadow boxing us, so I beat that ass. Club a lane, watch your lane, no rematching us. Had that heathen breathing hard, flabbergasted. Crooked cop, now he's mad, so he locked me up. AOI on the rise, there's no stopping us. Beat the charge, pray the Yam. YAHAWASHI is the king of us. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. Black activist, not a black pacifist. I'm not gonna be happy till I'm breaking in, I'm smashing shit. Man, I'm about to have a fit, ready to unleash my fist. Ecclesiastes 3, a time to kill, and I'm truly pissed. Esau, you're not gonna be missed. Yes, you're not gonna exist. You ain't been touched, cause you last on the bucket list. Waiting on the most high power of YAHAWAH. Former street thug from Detroit, now Hebrew scholar. Psalm 83, yes, against the state confederate. Edom leading the charge, who hatred is perpetuate. They got no respect for us, we waiting on YAHAWASHI. All these cowards gonna be exterminated till they die. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Activist, activist, activist. I think I'm
morning mental. No, I'm not late. I'm unpredictable. If you really want to keep up with me, if you really want to keep up with this movement, grand risings to all of the children of the Most High. You know, it's easy to ride on a motorcycle when you're going straight. Anybody who's ever ridden on a motorcycle knows that you have to move like the rider is moving. It's easy to do that when we're going straight. But when we get in them turns, you got to be able to move your body. Because otherwise, we're going to lose you in the turn. You've been fell off. Well, I'm taking y'all through some turns right now. So I need y'all to hang on and stay with me. Because I'm going to move in a way like most people don't move. You will not tie me directly to a clock that makes me too much of a target that's too easy to hit. You'll never see me go the same way that I came because that makes me too easy a target to hit. You won't even see me wearing the same thing that I wore when I left because that makes me too easy a target to hit. And I decided not to be the gringos because if I speak the same language, I might be too easy a target to hit. I'm on my morning mental this morning, and I'd like to wish all of you all a grand rising. This is a private session. Don't bother telling your friends that's not a member of my group already. They can't get in, and I'm not letting nobody in right now. I just want to talk to my family. I want to talk to y'all who woke up this morning feeling like you don't know how you're going to make it. You don't know if you can take no more. If I had to put a title on my talk this morning for your morning mental, it would be the bruh that sat behind the door. The bruh that sat behind the door. Yeah. Old school people know what I'm talking about. The bruh sat behind the door. Brothers and sisters, it's written down somewhere that we should be slow to anger. But when we do respond swiftly and decisively. Take no prisoners and leave the issue closed. This technology that y'all have that you're now using to see me used to be something that we used to just dream of when we was kids. Now you can lay in bed and reach over and pick up a piece of silicone with a screen on it, and now you can see me thousands of miles away like I'm in the room with you. Now through this window, this portal of technology, you can actually have me talk to you just as if I'm in the room with you, as if I'm in your ear, as if I'm in your mind, as if I'm in your heart. I can touch your soul without touching you. I can massage your mind from miles away. I can have intellectual intercourse with you, and nobody knows but me and you. This technology. Just remember, I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. A lot of y'all don't know what that means. Let me break it down to you. If you don't know what the bruh who sat behind the door is. You see, I've been inside of every part of this black experience. I've seen the good side and the bad side. I've been on the stupid side and I've been on the super intelligent side. I have seen the truth and I know the lie. I've been a victim of the system and I've been a victimizer of the system. I've been the perpetrator and I've been the victim. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. I was raised in the hood, baptized by fire through fights, lessons learned, poverty, and all those things. But I've also sat in some of the highest corporate seats and earned figures that some people can't even begin to comprehend, and I've seen the bias. And I've been the decision maker. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. I've held security clearances. I worn the uniform. I've taken oaths, and I've seen things and done things that you can never even begin to imagine. All in the defense of an idea that I believed in until I knew better. Because I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. I learned things I never would have learned. I gained a new perspective on the world. And in the world, I've walked places some of you all would never even get a chance to see. I've done things that people dream of. I've been held in high esteem and I've been hated to the depths of hell. I've seen us at our best. I've seen us when we can truly unite. But I've also seen how caustic we can be, and I've been the victims of that acid, and I've thrown it myself. I'm the bruh. Sit behind the door. If you know the story, then you know what eventually happens to the bruh behind the door. He suddenly begins to realize that it's all a lie. And so he started to get his people together to confront the lie. You know, if you never read the book To Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper, I advise you to get it. It's required reading for all of us. And if I could be so kind, my sweet children, to read a little bit to you, because I know y'all got your brains on this morning. I think that I would start somewhere. If you have a copy, please grab yours, because, you know, a lot of times I don't want y'all to believe what I tell you. I want you to research it yourself. Somewhere where they talk about the secret government. You know, William Cooper is a smart man. That's why they killed him. They always kill the smart guys. The problem is they weren't anticipating the bruh that sat behind the door. You see, I realized early in life that the only way I was ever going to defeat what I saw was to become a part of it. The only way that I could learn how my enemy worked was to become a part of my enemy. The only way I could get the answers to the questions that they wouldn't tell us was to go get those answers myself. And a lot of y'all don't know how to be a chameleon. You don't know how to shift the vernacular of your speech to fit in with whoever you're around. You don't know how to put on a mask that makes you look like you're one of them when all the time you're nothing more than the bruh that sat behind the door. And now when you put all those pieces together, whether it's the military, corporate America, hip-hop in the music industry, living in the hood, the black man experience, the pro-black movement, and just being a victim of all of the systems that they've unleashed on us in the last 40, 50 years. If you got all those pieces and put them together, it's very easy for you to figure out how you become the brother or the sister that sat behind the door. What's on the other side of this door? Well, I'll tell you what's on the other side of this door. War, death, confusion, bloodshed, liberation. Because the bruh that sits behind the door, he's the one that if he opens this door, he's equipped to deal with anything that's on the other side. Now, fortunately, I can't go all by myself. I need y'all to go with me. So I'm going to read a little something to you to show you just how asleep you are. And then we're going to find out how many of y'all I can get to join me behind the door. Shout out to NFAC. Shout out to NFAC. It's that time. We making preps. Stay tuned. He says, another plan is force. It is a plan to prepare the public for eventual confrontation. Think about what they just said. It's part of the plan. Listen what they said here. They said for many years, the government has been importing drugs and selling them to the people, mainly the poor and the minorities. Social welfare programs were put into place to create a dependent, non-working element in our society. The government then begins to remove these programs to force people into a criminal class that did not exist in the 50s and the 60s. Let me stop right there and break that down for y'all. Grand rising to all. Listen what they said, that they put the drugs in your community. So if you got somebody in your family that's strung out on drugs, if you got somebody in your family that's hooked up on something that's just real nasty that they can't kick, just look around. It doesn't grow in your neighborhoods. It has to come from somewhere. Then what ends up happening is that once you get hooked on it, the effects of that infiltrate your neighborhood. That's what they did to us with crack in the 80s, for y'all who weren't around to talk about it or to experience it. And when they did that, they destroyed us to the point where they then had to give you welfare. You know, they give you the path of least resistance. Don't work. Come on down here. We got something for you. You know, ain't nothing out there for you no way. They told you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you got flip-flops, so you can't do that. You ain't got no straps to pull on. So they throw you welfare with all these crazy rules. And what they do is they create a dependent, non-working element in our society. It's funny how white people like to point the finger at black people. We're like, we the only ones on welfare. Do you know who 80% of the people on welfare is? It's white people. But remember, society don't care when you're the ultimate target. They said then the government would take those programs away. Cut off your food stamps, cut off your welfare, cut off whatever type of money you had become dependent on. And that in turn eliminates your pipeline of income, no matter how small it might be. Y'all listen up now. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. And what happens is your needs don't go away. I'm on my morning mental. You still got to eat, sleep, and you know the rest. You got to have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. You got to have food to eat and you got to have some wheels. And you realize that because they took away your, whatever it was they was giving you, you now resort to criminality. So you wonder why crime is high in the black community. You all are the victims of a system that's designed to turn you into criminals. It's designed to make you into drug addicts. It's designed to make you go to get on public assistance. It's by design. Things aren't bad just because they bad. Then y'all see what happened when we went into the quarantine. The world began to repair itself. It did not need us. None of these systems meant a thing. That was a break from the matrix. A lot of y'all thought we were in the matrix. No, they put you on pause so that they could reset the machine, and you came right back out and got into it and started dancing. And now all of a sudden you're caught up in it like a wash machine, and you don't realize that you are being forced into criminality, forced into being dependent, forced into welfare, forced by keeping certain things from you like jobs, education, equal housing, those type things, even, but most important, political power to determine your own destiny. Those things are what's being kept from you. Everything else is an aggravation to force you into those situations. I'm telling you this because I'm the bruh sitting behind the door. The government encourages the manufacture and importation of military firearms for the criminals to use. Then they talk to you about gun control so that people who can legitimately get a weapon can't get one. They're talking about you. They're giving the weapons to the criminals. Last time I checked, I didn't go up in a gun store and had to stand in line behind gangsters. I didn't have to wait to get my weapon while a bank robber or a kidnapper or a sexual trafficker was, waiting for their background check to come back. No. If you want to get it like that, you just get your loot right and go down to the dock and meet up with my man who got them on the ship, back up your truck, load them up, and you in business. Y'all don't understand that. But that's okay. I'm going to help you out this morning because I'm the bruh. Sat behind the door. Now, they put these weapons in our communities, and this is intended to foster a feeling of insecurity, which would lead the American people to voluntarily disarm themselves by passing laws against firearms, which they want to do. So using drugs and hypnosis sometimes through the media on you all. They treat you like mental patients. They used to have a program called Orion that the CIA inoculated the desire in these people to open fire on schoolyards and thus inflame the anti-gun lobby. See, every time there's a major shooting, it's always gun control. But there's another reason that they'll bring up gun control, and this is what the brother behind the door want to tell you this morning, is that nobody's thinking about gun control until black people pick up guns. As long as black people are being criminals, they got something for you, pipeline back to slavery. But the moment you start acting like you got some damn sense and want to defend yourself, oh, we got to change the laws. Because the laws, in case y'all haven't figured out, are not these ideas that protect you. The laws are the gates of the cage. You see, when I go to the zoo, if I'm looking at the lion, I'm comfortable looking at this lion that could eat me because they have put a gate around him strong enough to contain him. And if the gate isn't strong enough, they come back and they put in a stronger gate. Now, if you climb over the gate, you deserve what you get. Long live Harambe. Y'all thought I forgot about him. Didn't deserve to die. But the bruh is sitting behind the door this morning. Grand rising to all of you all. The bruh behind the door is telling you that you're puppets and that this whole thing is being orchestrated and that they're pushing you to a certain solution. Like you push somebody on a chessboard. But what they didn't count on was somebody who knew how to play chess from the other side. You see, it's easy to play chess when your opponent is non-existent. I've done that. I play chess. But when you're sitting across from an adversary that can outthink you, outmaneuver you, out-strategize you, out-reason you, and then on top of that, whip your ass if you don't like it, you don't want to play. Because I'm the bruh sitting behind the door. Oh, I'm on y'all this morning on my morning mental. So they got this sense of insecurity going. It's going to lead y'all to think that you need to disarm yourself. Then they're going to try to brainwash you into believing this. Now watch this now. This plan is well underway. Yes, it is. Here's the part that's really crazy. This is where y'all at right now. Due to this wave of crime that's sweeping the nation, the media will convince the American people that a state of anarchy exists within the major cities. Now, that's why you see the police falling back. The police ain't falling back because they feel guilty about reform. The police are falling back because they're told to, because they know if they fall back, anarchy will reign. And once anarchy reigns, the next part is very, very easy. They now building this case almost nightly on TV and daily in the newspapers. When the public opinion has totally grabbed that idea, they intend to state that there's a terrorist group. There's a new terrorist group on the scene. And because of that, they now have to declare another state of emergency on top of the one that we already in. They set up this fake crisis. Then they can suspend the Constitution and declare martial law. You know, that's when they got, and see, a lot of y'all don't even realize that you got a lot of arms manufacturers and people like that that's waiting for some shit like that to happen because they got a lot of new weapons they want to test out. Shit that y'all ain't never even heard of. Y'all think we're going to be fighting people? Then you look up and here come a goddamn army of robots. Oh, what are we fighting about? This ain't a fight. Everybody get the fuck out of here. When they show up, we show up. We don't want to fight your appliances. We want to fight you. But then let us go get some appliances and we can sit there like it's an Xbox game all day. That's not what this is about. That's the sign of a coward. They don't want to fight. They want something else to fight for them. That has got to be the most cowardly shit I've ever heard of in my life. And that's coming from the bruh that sat behind the door. Now, but they got to get everybody to go along with it. You see, they're trying to brainwash you into going along with it. So when someone with some sense say, that don't make no sense, everybody look at them like they crazy. Like 5 years ago, I tried to warn y'all about what was happening with BLM, but I knew if I opened my mouth then, all y'all was on the train going with these people. And if I had said something, y'all would have looked at me like I was crazy. So I waited. 5 years later, y'all now saying what I said, that you know damn well that movement is not for you. It was never for you. And they hijacked the black movement. They distracted us from the agenda. And now all of a sudden they ain't got shit to say. They ain't nowhere in sight. They want everybody to think it's cool fucking by y'all when it's not. So now the bruh that sat behind the door has got up and them came out. And now everybody done woke up like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what we supposed to be doing. Exactly. It's all a system. A lot of money behind it. Big shout out to all my brothers behind bars this morning that's waking up to my voice. I'm right there with you. I've been there. I know what it's like. Just remember, they can lock up the body, but they can't lock up your mind. And if we can free your mind, then it won't be nothing but a matter of time till we show up to pop the gates, because it's all falling apart out here. I'm trying to tell you, I know what it's like, my brothers, trying to figure out what's happening out here. I'm here to give y'all the report, whether you in the Fed, whether you in state, whether you in county, whether you just in some little podunk jail down in Hinesville, Georgia, where they had one cell. I was the only one in the whole jail. Let me assure you, if you could come home right now, you would not recognize the world that it is. This right here is like Jiffy Pop popcorn, and it's about to pop the fuck off, and y'all would fit right in, and probably nobody would even recognize you, because most of the criminals are riding around in police cars. They got uniforms. Most of the criminals now got all the money. Most of the criminals can say what they want to say, express their racial attitude. You would think that you just moved from one institution to another and that you out on the yard. That's all it is, my brothers. I had to let y'all know. Same thing for all my sisters on lockdown. Don't think I don't know nothing about that either. Yeah, I know the stuff y'all got to deal with and the systems, and I know all the policies. I've been there. I've done that. I want y'all to know ain't nobody forgot about y'all either. I need y'all to keep up hope, because when it happens, it's going to happen fast. Because you got people out there like me. Y'all know me. I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. And I know I done lost some of my people who came to hear a word from y'all. I know it's a few of y'all that thought you was going to get spiritually uplifted. But I told you once before. When I was young, I remember I watched a movie. And the name of the movie was The Mummy. And the mummy had been around my whole life. They always had this fascination because they were fascinated with our culture. They always had this fascination that when we buried people in ancient Egypt, that, you know, we actually knew a little bit about the afterlife, not the get up and dead body walking around afterlife, but what happened to the spirit, where the spirit went. We knew all those things. We communed with our creator. We understood that there was 3 dimensions to life: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. So when we would wrap up the body, it was not so that they could get up and walk around and kill people. That wasn't part of our culture. It was because when the judgment came, and that everyone is called into account for what they've done, that the dead too shall arise. All those people sitting in Sheol, all the people y'all done missed that done went away talking about, I'm going to miss him. I don't know why, because you're going to see him again. But everybody will be called to accounting. And they were preserving the body so that that ruler or whoever it was would have their body, at least some left of their body, so they could come back. They were just trying to look out for them. But leave it to our enemies to take our culture and twist it around and lie to you about it. So when I was a child, we always had the mummy. The mummy was this, used to fuck me up when I was a kid. Here come the comedy, y'all. I never could understand how somebody wrapped up in bandages who could barely move. How this motherfucker could kill you? People would stand there and just losers would stand there. Oh, the mummy. Nobody would ever run. They would just stand there. Oh, and the mummy wouldn't do shit but just be in your face like, And motherfuckers would just die. And I'm like, okay, why didn't he run? Because see, it's built into us. Let's flip it. They should make a movie called Black Mummy. Tyler Perry, any of y'all movie producers, do a Black Mummy movie. And don't make it no comedy. Make it realistic as fuck. But every scene where the mummy show up, keep it 100. Don't y'all know how it's going to play out? Me and y'all sitting there talking. Yeah, I told Bob and then we was going, what was that? I don't know. Go check it out. You go check it out. Nah, bro, I ain't checking that shit out. And then the mummy come in. That's the end of that scene. The mummy will be frustrated before the movie is over. Nigga be walking around like, everybody's outrunning me and shit. Finally, he get a text because we got to make it today. The mummy look at his phone. Who the fuck sold the mummy a phone? But he got a phone. And it says, take off the bandages so you can see what you're doing so you can move. All right, that's my comedy. I'm sorry, I got completely distracted. The comedy just rolling. I need somebody to do a Black Mummy movie. Anyway, when I saw the mummy as a kid, the idea used to just muck with me. But then when people run out of originality, they tend to copy what's already done. When you have nothing of your own, you copy what somebody already did. When you couldn't come up with a religion, you copied what somebody already did. When you couldn't tell us what your culture was because you didn't have one, you just took somebody else's. You copied what somebody already did. And on top of that, when it comes to music, when it comes to art, when it comes to writings, you copied what somebody already did. So don't get mad when somebody copies what you have already done. Somebody say, talk, black man. My brothers and sisters, please make sure you're drinking alkaline water. Don't drink tap water. Don't drink none of that water out the convenience store. Make you some alkaline water. Make sure the pH level is high enough to keep your body in an alkaline state. And you won't have to worry about COVID-19, 2021, 22, or any damn thing else they come up with. They can't live inside you. So when I saw this as a child, I saw the remake of the movie The Mummy. Saw this not too long ago. And one of the things that got me was there was the villain of the whole movie was this mummy. And his name was Imhotep. When I heard that name, I was like, Imhotep. I had never heard this name before. It wasn't taught to me in school. I'm a very learned brother. I had never heard this name before. So I decided to go and look him up, find out who this bro was and what kind of monster he was. Was this based on a real villain? And I was so insulted because I found out that Imhotep was the first recorded black multi-genius. He is the inventor of Egyptian technology. He is the inventor of Egyptian astrology. He was the chief architect that designed, the same way we talk about the Masons that designed DC, which were bruhs. This was the bruh that laid out all the temples and laid out all the obelisks. He was the one that calculated the theorems. This brother was an artist, an astronomer. He was a multifaceted genius, and he was black. And you motherfuckers turned him into a villain that came back to do what? To destroy and kill shit. And y'all don't realize the brainwash that goes on, because a lot of y'all don't understand that the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I'm the bruh that sat behind the door. You see, your adversary doesn't want you to be smart. They want you to be angry. They don't want you to be a strategician. They want you to be a brute. They don't want you to be a master at war strategy. They don't want you to be able to outthink them. They don't want a thinking enemy. They want somebody to just come straight at them. You ever played one of them video games where they put some thought into that shit and you were sitting there like, you could tell whoever wrote this was smart because what you attempted to do, no matter how you did it, the game kept outsmarting you? Well, the bruh that sat behind the door realized that, and that's exactly how we have to treat everybody now, because they expect us to come straight at them. We're smarter than that. As a matter of fact, the reason that so many people have heartburn or can't digest what's happening right now is because they have done just the opposite of what I'm telling you. They've never sat behind the door. They've always just bullied straight ahead. They don't know how to unify with anyone. They think that they are the solution. They forgot we didn't get here by ourselves. The only thing we did by ourselves was we showed up in this world by ourselves, and we will leave this world by ourselves. Remember, the two greatest days in your life is the day that you're born and the day you figure out why. And in some cases, you have to find that out by being the bruh. Y'all finish it for me. So when I see these things happen, that they turn our heroes into villains, and they pervert our history, I realized that Imhotep was a very multifaceted person. He had a lot of different sides to him. He could be very intelligent, but he was also a cunning warrior. He could be very artistic, but he could also be very factual. He could be as eloquent in speech as anyone, or he could be the motherfucker that cuss you slam the fuck out and say what's cracking. The bruh who sat behind the door is the brother that is all those things. And just like Ecclesiastes said, he knows when to be what and where. So this is not the time right now for me to sit here and exegete the loftier principles of the Most High, or to crack open the ancient books to expose you to the mysteries of the universe, or to give you the morals and precepts that you need. I got to let that person go take a seat, because the person that I need now is the warrior. The person I need now is not the negotiator, but the finisher. That's the person I need right now. I don't need to see the teacher and the hip hop artist in the ring wrestling when the finisher comes out the back dressing room with a folding chair and kick everybody's ass. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm the bruh sat behind the door. I'm not going to stay long today because I got stuff to do. Y'all know when I go black, what's about to happen. I haven't gone black yet, but don't expect to see this live after I'm gone. My lives, when I'm like this, disappear when I do. So if you don't catch it now, you won't have it. Not this one. I cannot understand. I'm struggling this morning, and I know y'all struggling too, to understand how a black man who was given birth and given life by a black woman came out of a black woman. No matter what happened after that, that's how you got here. That's why you breathe. That's why you can have an opinion that you have nothing in your heart, in your consciousness, in your melanin. When you see somebody who looks like the person that birthed you, oh, could your life have been so horrible that you hated her so much that you hate your own kind, that you just waiting to stick it to us every chance you get, because you believe that the only way that life is going to be better for you is if you could take off this black mask and be something else. So since you can't take it off, you do everything to show those other people that you just like them. You talk about us like you're not like one of us. You don't want to live where we live. You don't eat the food that we eat. You don't associate with the Negroes. You truly believe we have arrived because they use you as a puppet. You think that you're better than your brothers and sisters, and you think you got to get out of an ass whipping free card if everything goes south from us and them. Oh, I'm the brother this morning that sat behind the door because I know enough to know that that's all bullshit. Same way we got people out in Portland that's talking about they're snatching people off the streets. Stop, you uneducated motherfuckers. What you're witnessing is a military operation, which is citizen detain and control. Look it up on the internet. There's a military pamphlet. They're running operations in your city. What they're doing is grabbing people and they take them somewhere and they Mirandize them and they ask them, do they want to talk? If they say no, they let them go. You know how I know? Because that's what you do overseas when you want to get information. We just grab motherfuckers off the street and take them somewhere and say, okay, tell us what you know. Stop thinking that you understand those things that are outside of your sphere of existence. Y'all wonder why military people call you civilians. It's not because you're civilized. It's because we are trained to think of you as a totally separate part of the population. I know y'all don't want to hear this. That's expendable. You are expendable. And don't think that the military is not expendable either. They have plans where they calculate how many people they can lose. I was in a unit with 8,000 men, no women, 8,000 hardcore, forward deployed, combat, 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment, 19 Delta, 11 bang bang, tankers and all that shit. Those are people who die. And I would watch the battle plans where they would say, well, if we do this, we'll lose only 10%. 10%? If you have to lose 10% of 8,000 motherfuckers, you mean to tell me y'all willing to kill 800 people just to prove a point? I know these people. These are my friends. What the fuck are you talking about? But that's how they think, because you're expendable. And if they'll do that to soldiers, think about you. They don't give a fuck about you. You are, you're collateral. We call it collateral damage. But don't get mad at me. I'm just the one telling you. Remember who I am, y'all. I'm your brother. It sat behind the door. And it's taken me almost 60 years to amass all the knowledge and all the wisdom and all the experience and all the secrets and all the strategies and all of the products and counterproducts and methodologies and project planning and being resolute in the resolve to use all that information to one day free my goddamn people for real. So don't sit around and ask yourself where I came from. The real question is, where the fuck you been? Because last time I looked, I'm one of the only bros sitting behind the door. Big shout out to NFAC. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know this morning, y'all. I don't know. This is one of them times where I'm going to say it before we go down. You know, somebody asked me on an interview, how do you respond to the people who criticize what y'all did down in Stone Mountain? How do you respond to the criticism? How do you respond to the criticism? Let me help you out real quick. I don't respond to criticism because, first of all, you ain't got no right to criticize me because I can shut you down with one sentence. You weren't there. But you weren't there. Yeah, but I think you weren't there. And since you wasn't there, you have lost your right to an opinion. When you want to give me your opinion, give me that opinion while we walking up on people with guns. When you want to give me your opinion after I say, y'all see what's in front of us? Y'all see what's behind us? Y'all know what we got to do? Give me your opinion then. But don't give me your opinion while you sitting at home comfortably in your bed, on your couch, behind your phone or your computer, especially after the fact. Because what you're doing is making yourself look like an idiot. And please don't ever use your twisted logic to try to tell us what we're doing is wrong because the way you did it didn't work out. Let me tell you something. If I've been doing this for 2, 3, 4 months and I got all this shit done and you've been doing it for 5, 10, 15 years, you just made yourself look like a goddamn fool. And you don't even realize it because that means that all that time you still ain't got done what we got done in 2, 3 months. So please, I don't want to hear that right now because I'm the bruh that's sitting behind the door. And y'all can go with me or I'm going all by myself. Because like somebody asked me last night, aren't you worried about dying? Y'all don't get it. I would much rather die for a noble cause than to stay alive for a wasted reason. Because I'm the brother that sat behind the door. We didn't make history. We're still making history. You're a part of it. So when this is all over, no matter how this all turns out in the end, black folks, whether we get a new nation or whether we get an ethno nation or whether shit just goes back to slavery, no matter how it plays out in the end, remember, you're the one that got to face your children and their grandchildren when they say, well, Daddy, what did you do when all this was going on? Shut up, son, and pick your cotton. So I just want y'all to understand something. That's my morning mental this morning, is that we're all behind the door right now. And we all, no matter where you are, have to make a decision. Because apparently y'all don't realize the decision has already been made for you. And I know that I can't be the only one feeling like this. And I know y'all feel the same way. If you missed the announcement last night, NFAC is on full mobilization. Everybody get ready. Stay tuned for time and location. If you're not built for this, get out of my inbox telling me why you're not. Okay? I don't want to hear that right now. I want you to stand back because that's where you at. If you are one of the individuals and you know who you are, you know what you need to do, y'all need to go ahead and do what you need to do. You got to follow me here to get the instructions. I'm not putting anything out that anybody can use against us. Now let me talk to the people who are against us. You know, we had a meeting and we tried to say, well, what about the people in the middle? And we all agreed there is no middle. You either with us or you're against us. And we don't care what color you are. That's the only way we're going to sort this out. Your actions are going to speak a lot louder than your words. So if we see your actions as being somebody who's working with us, then we rock with you. And I'm not just talking to black people now. If your actions show that you rock with us, then you got nothing to worry about. But if your actions show that you don't rock with us, then you're the target. Point fucking blank. Because that's coming from the bruh that sat behind the door. I bid you all a good morning. Grand rising. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. And any other way you want it expressed to say, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. And normally I don't end like this, but I think I have to because some of y'all think that this is a game and it is not. This is very, very, very serious. Very serious. This is grown folk business on a level y'all have never seen. These are the things that shape our country. These are the things that will shape your life. And if you want to sit on the sidelines and be a spectator to something that's going to shape your life, just remember this. Your enemy has a history of retaliating against all of us if some of us do something. So we either all go into this together or you just remember that when the backlash comes, you could have been a part of trying to fix things. Instead, you're going to sit there and let the backlash fuck you up. Just say my name correctly when you say it. That's all I got to say. And that's my morning mental for this morning. I hope that you all will have a great day. Me, myself, I got to go clean my weapons. I got to go get my mind right. And I got to go find out how we got so deep into this particular situation that we in. Because we didn't have to be here. Y'all know that. And if you didn't know, well, now you know. Because like the old song said, it's deep. It's not just ankle deep. Y'all know where I'm going with this. It was what? It was knee deep. Real talk. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Shalom.
I think I'm about to turn into another black activist. Start another rally. What my people like Fred Hampton did. Martin Luther had a dream, but yeah, Daniel dreamed it first. Call me UEP Newton, they shoot me down, they shoot me first. Malcolm X got an X up on my chest. YAHAWAH got my back, and that's a